Friday in Aberdeen, the opening day of the 2024 Rogue Invitational comes to a close here at P&J Live. And we are glad you are with us, everybody, as we are set for the third and final event of day number one for the women. It is Braveheart, presented by Rogue. Thanks for staying with us, everybody. I'm Sean Woodland with former affiliate Cup champ Adrian Conway. We got Kiki Dixon down on the competition floor. And so far, through two events, business as usual for a women's competition when Tia Toomey's in the field.
You're right about that. She's sitting on top with two 100-point W's, but I'll tell you what, not much separation between her and Miss Gabby Magawa there, only 10 points back. So she's right there in fighting place. And then, of course, to round out our podium right now, it's Mrs. Horvath with 175.
Only 25 points separate Toomey from Horvath after the two events, but as you mentioned, Adrian, Tia Toomey has been perfect, winning the first two events, 14 career wins here in 33 events at the Rogue Invitational. Haley Adams solidly in fourth place with 155 points, and it's Danielle Brandon currently rounding out the top five. Braveheart has two movements. We're going to get on the wall, we're going to get inverted, and then we get to get under a heavy barbell.
We do. It is a descending ladder of 8, 6, 4, 2 wall walk complexes, which involve one wall walk and two strict handstand push-ups and back squats at 260 pounds.
What are the keys to this event?
Well, I'll tell you, the keys for the women are the same as the men. Do your homework. The back squats have had an appearance here with another movement under heavy breathing in the history. So are you prepared? We're about to find out. And no breathing. They've got a brace under the heavy loads of the barbell, but they've also got a brace on the wall. They're not going to have much room for those deep breaths that all of us prefer when we're building fatigue.
Lane assignments for the first of these two heats. 10 women on the competition floor. Haley Adams, who is in fifth place overall, will be in the middle in lane number 6, but there are a pair of women here who can move a heavy barbell. Dana Perrin will be in down in lane 1, and of course, we know what Danny Spiegel can do whenever you put some weight on her back.
Yeah, that's right. We know that she's a fan favorite because she puts on such a show when it comes to lifting weights in any way. We'll see how she's able to manage the handstand push-ups, but we know the back squat's going to be a very strong aspect of this for her.
There is Maddie Sturt. Paige Semenza on the left, Haley Adams on the right. First time we've seen a wall walk complex in competition. There is Dana Perrin, who comes in 16th place overall.
Yeah, rookie here in the competition, qualified through the queue again against the rest of the world. Everyone who wanted to have a shot to get here in Aberdeen and compete against some of the fittest on earth, she's garnered that for herself, and now we get an opportunity to see how she's going to respond to this couplet of gymnastics and weightlifting.
Judges, hands in the air as our athletes here in heat number 1 approaching 8 of those wall walk complex.
Perrin and Spiegel so far towards the front. Manana Anganese and Emma Tall also there as well. So pretty tight at the beginning of this opening round of 8 complexes.
Yeah, one thing we can expect with these wall walk complexes for them to be just a touch slower for the most part than in comparison to the men's heat. So the women are pacing themselves a little bit more out the gate, trying to ensure they don't have to do extra reps like I'm sure they saw a lot of the men do, rushing the reps early. So they'll spend a little bit more time here in front of that plexiglass, and then they'll be on the trot to those back squats.
Final complex for Danny Spiegel, and she will head to the barbell for her 8 reps. And also in lane 2, Michaela Howe is off the wall, and Manon Anganese. Also Sydney Wells is moving to the barbell for her first set of 8 back squats at 260 pounds, 118 kilos.
Sydney Wells goes right to work.
Sydney Wells on the right in the pink shoes next to Danny Spiegel.
Yeah, you'll notice how the athletes, as they send their hips down and back, they got to brace for that next rep. They'll breathe at the top of the reps. It's hard to breathe through the middle. They've got to keep that midline as firm as possible so they can push through the floor and stand with the bar.
Danny Spiegel got hit with a no rep. As Sydney Wells is done, Wells is going to be the first woman back to the wall for her set of 6. And now Spiegel's done, and she'll join Wells for those wall walk complexes.
Working on 6 of those walls.
At the 22 rep mark is when they'll head back to the barbell for their next 6 back squats. Paige Semenza, middle of your screen, just getting to the barbell for the first time.
Joined by Haley Adams as well. One of those standards for the squat here is going to be that their hip crease gets below the top of their knee, and then they got to stand all the way at the top. That's what those judges directly in front of the athletes are keeping an eye out for.
Emma Tall is done, and now
Races between Sydney Wells and
Sydney Wells and Danny Spiegel continue to battle for first place in this first of 2 heats.
Sydney Wells, the pink shoes in lane at number 9.
Now Paige Semenza going back to the wall for her second round.
Time cap as our athletes chip away.
One of the most frustrating parts about this wall walk complex is that you feel like you're ready for the next rep, but because there's so much demanded of your upper body, the walk up, that first strict handstand push up, then the second, you've got to really be extra sure before you start even the journey of the repetition or you get it all taken away.
And Sydney Wells getting back to the barbell for her set of 6. She's ahead of Danny Spiegel.
Spiegel chasing down Wells here at this set of 6. Sydney underneath the bar as she sets up.
Haley Adams just closing out her set of 8. I take that back. She still has a couple reps remaining. She's in the red shirt.
Crowd getting behind Danny Spiegel as she gets a rep in.
Sydney being very consistent with her squats and pacing. This is a longer rest between reps and she's taking the rest of the set.
Wells is done. We're now back to the wall for her round of 4. As Danny Spiegel has now closed out her set of 6, she'll join Wells. Back for those wall walk complexes. Wells is already through 1.
She racks up.
32 reps is what they need to hit before they'll get back to the barbell for that set of 4.
This heat right now as she heads back in for the round of 4.
Good finish on that rep there by Sydney. You'll notice that as she presses up, her head kind of lingers further away from the wall. That's just a slight amount of strain that's starting to happen with these ladies as they press to that locked out position with their arms. So her head's going to touch the mat, and as she arches through her mid-back, she's trying to get those chest muscles to help her shoulder muscles out. It's a wise body shift in position.
One more complex for Sydney Wells here.
Hold them up the leaderboard. Sydney, I believe, with 1 more rep to go. Sydney.
And Sydney Wells is now tied with Danny Spiegel. Wells trying to get back to the barbell ahead of Danny Spiegel. Spiegel belting up here. 4 reps at 260, 118 kilos.
Sydney strikes first. Sydney doubles out. Danny right on her heels. We have 1 more rep.
This is where athletes have to be extra aware of what the judge wants to see with their depth and standing tall at the top. You don't want to risk getting a no rep. We saw that on the men's side by Justin Medeiros. He was able to recoup, but it can be costly here.
Spiegel and Wells back to the wall. They've got 2 complexes. Spiegel's getting to work just ahead of Sydney Wells.
Danny Spiegel with 1.
Spiegel right back for rep number 2. Wells into rep number 2.
Wow, great execution there by Danny.
And now a no rep for Sydney Wells. That's going to open the door for Danny Spiegel to take this heat.
To make her way back to the barbell first.
Approaching the 7-minute mark, Danny Spiegel's got 2 reps remaining.
Danny all alone on that set of 2 as Sydney tries to catch up.
Sydney Wells is now
1 rep for Danny Spiegel.
through her 2 wall walk complexes. Is not going to be enough though, as Danny Spiegel is going to close this heat out across the finish line. Danny Spiegel takes the heat at 7:15.67 seconds. Sydney Wells looks to be the next woman to finish Taylor Howe, meanwhile, is putting a little pressure on Wells. Wells is going to come in second place in the heat. Now 2 reps remain for Taylor Howe.
Wow, this would be a great finish for Taylor. Rookie here at the Invitational. No games experience.
Good enough for 3rd place for Taylor. 7:53.92 seconds. Leaves Maddie Sturt, Manon Anganese fighting right now for 4th place in the heat. Maddie Sturt is going to win that battle. Anganese close behind her.
We have 4 minutes remaining. Athletes, 4 minutes remaining.
Got Dana Perrin, Haley still chipping away, Paige Semenza, Taylor Williamson.
Perrin's done. She'll move back to the barbell for the final time as well. Haley Adams, meanwhile, is way back. She is still in her round of 6.
9 minutes in, 3 minutes remaining. Athletes, 3 minutes.
Again, one of those things, she'd never hide from it. She's working on her strength. She's trying to build it up. Got to be patient. Takes time to build up. True fitness is a compromise always, and Haley excels at a very high level, Sean, in running and in so many other things in our space, that her strength is what is going to take time to continually build to be at the same level as some of these other women that she goes toe-to-toe with.
Emma Tall is done. She will come across. 9:31.12 seconds for Emma Tall.
Yeah.
260 pounds.
Emma Tall, another woman making her first appearance here at the Rogue Invitational, along with Taylor Williamson, who's going to get in inside the 12-minute time cap. So 2 minutes remain, pardon me. Paige Semenza has a few reps to go before she'll be able to close out her day of competition.
Yeah, Paige looks like she's in her round of 4. Haley resolving down to singles now, so just 1 rep at a time, giving her body just a moment to recharge. Doesn't want to get that costly no rep in the bar, being forced to be re-racked.
We have 90 seconds remaining.
Go! Paige, run! Go, go, go!
Paige Semenza now with about 1:20 to go. She's got 2 wall walk complexes and 2 back squats remaining. And Haley Adams now has 1 rep remaining in her round of 6.
So this clearly is the limiting aspect for Paige. I know that she came into this nursing a little bit of a shoulder issue. Kind of affected the way that she could probably train her upper body and the way that she could prepare for a movement that might even be a weakness of hers. Because she makes quick work of those back squats for the most part once she gets back.
Haley Adams, meanwhile, knocks out her final back squat in that set. She has 1 remaining. Looked like her judge had 1 finger in the air, but she still has some reps remaining. Paige Semenza
Got it, come on.
is able to get through that second complex. She's got to hurry if she wants to get in inside the time cap.
20 seconds remaining.
All right, here we go. Got to focus on the details and get low enough. Oh, yeah.
Paige Semenza is going to do it. Racks the barbell, and she will sneak in inside the 12-minute time cap.
3, 2, 1, and
It's Danny Spiegel picking up the heat win at 7:15.67 seconds. She did it by doing a nice job of managing her rest on the wall walks and then just crushing the barbell when she got under it.
Yeah, she really did put on an overall clinic, Sean. We had our eyes on her from the very beginning of this heat, knowing what she can do with an external load, but she really proved that she had great self-awareness on those handstand push-ups, so every time she returned to the wall, she would take brief breaks between each complex, literally just laying supine there, belly down on the floor, and it paid off perfectly for her, and it put enough pressure on Sydney Wells, who was going neck and neck with her back-to-back, that forced her to get into a no-rep situation, and that's what got Spiegel on top.
Danny Spiegel closes it out with those final 2 reps, and she has the time to beat as we have just 1 heat remaining. Three women go sub 8 minutes. Maddie Sturt takes 4th at 8:09.26 seconds, followed by Manon Anganez at 8 minutes 12.11 seconds. Floor getting reset by the volunteers who make this event possible. Big thanks to all of them. They're working really hard this weekend with the CrossFit and Strongman competitions. Lane assignments for the second and final heat. Overall leader Tia Toomey right in the middle of the floor in lane number 6. Trying to hold off Gabby McGowan and Laura Horvath. And so far, Tia Toomey has been perfect on day 1. 2 events, 2 wins. Heat 2 underway.
Heat number 2 of the individual women with 8.
All right. In for a show here. Watching, of course, Tia gonna make pretty quick work of these wall walk complexes, Sean. I'm quite confident. I'm interested to see how Gabby attacks him and also how Laura Horvath also attacks him, and she's the one straight ahead from Tia on the left there in the red jersey. Historically, strict handstand push-ups are a bit of a goat for Laura, meaning they're a bit of a struggle point for her depending on how they appear. Wall facing being one, though, that she does execute decently compared to the field versus back to the wall handstand push-ups.
Amanda Barnhart and Alex Gazan along with Toomey are towards the front here. Toomey is now finished up as Barnhart takes a second to chalk her hands.
Signaling these women moving through the final 5 reps of the round of 8.
Who's going to pull the Jeff Adler move on the women's side? Who's going to be the first to walk away from the wall and be like, oh, maybe too fast?
No surprise, it's Tia Toomey.
And there was no confusion for her. She knew exactly what she was doing.
Gabby McGowan is now done along with Alex Gazan. Gazan has a chance to really make up some ground on this barbell.
Yeah, certainly one of our stronger athletes in the field. Consistency is what we're looking for here at a round 1. The 8 reps, again, the judges are looking to see that the hips get below, the hip crease gets below the top of the knee, and the athlete stand tall at the top every rep with this 260 pounds.
The final rep now for Tia Toomey, and she'll head back for her set of 6.
Laura Horvath still at the wall, Sean.
Horvath still working through her set of 8. She's on the left side.
To the next round of 6.
And now she's done, so Laura Horvath will hustle to the barbell for her 8 back squats.
Now I expect Laura to make quick work of these back squats each and every round, so she's not gonna have much rest. I mean, the good thing is we know that she's gonna be steady here, but it's also gonna be creating a lot of more fatigue that'll build up in her upper body when she gets back to that wall. Not much off time.
Goes right back to work on the next one.
2 reps remaining for Tia.
Gabby trying to catch up.
Laura Horvath also going with the Aberdeen football jersey.
Stay tall. Good, bracket.
And she's through her round of 8 as Tia Toomey is getting set to close out her round of 6, and now she's done. Toomey to the barbell for 6 back squats, 7:15.67 seconds. That's the time to beat from Danny Spiegel. Gabby McGowan has 2 reps remaining, as do Brooke Wells and now Alex Gazan.
We see that deep breath from Tia, and then applying a really unique skill set in the squat where timing is so very important for Tia.
One more rep to go.
Gabby utilizing her rest appropriately there for her handstand push-ups. Oh, Tia out of that quick.
But Tia got through her round of 6 before anybody else even joined her at the barbell. Now here comes Gabby McGowan. She's in second place.
Another event win here at the Rogue Invitational. Day 1 of competition.
Yeah, and the effortlessness that Tia is showing us here. The walk up with her feet, hands come back. Look at the straight line that her body creates every time she presses out. It's so quick that, again, it reduces the time that's spent upside down. It makes it easier for her arms, simply put.
Onto her final complex, and then it'll be back to the barbell for 4 back squats. Gabby McGowan just closed out her set of 6. She's in second place in this heat and second place overall behind Toomey. 10 points back after 2 events. And now Toomey continues to just make quick work of everything here and is way out in front. Looking to stay perfect here in the 2024 Rogue Invitational.
Yeah, and what we even recalling the last event, we saw that race between Gabby, Tia, and Laura. The way Tia can execute the handstand push-ups, it really removes that pressure from her on the barbell. She can get there, execute at the pace she wants to, pause at the top when she needs to, and then be smooth when she gets back to the wall.
If Tia Toomey hangs on for the event win, which it looks like she will, she'll be the first ever athlete at the Rogue Invitational to sweep the day. The first day to sweep day 1.
3 for 3. Add another accomplishment to her belt. Wow.
Now Toomey is done, and she only has 2 reps left.
2 reps away, and a sprint to the finish. And she will add another event win to her historic career. There's 1. There is 2.
Toomey is done, and Tia Toomey goes 3 for 3. A clean sweep on day 1 for the first time at the Rogue Invitational. And who else would you expect to pull it off? 300 points to head into Saturday. 6:14.89 seconds, a minute faster than Danny Spiegel.
It's offensive. The fitness that is on exhibition here, it's something, again, that we can easily take for granted because of how easy she makes it look, but she's just on another level, Sean. It's her training, her commitment, everything that she aligns in her life for the last decade and plus has gotten her to this type of performance that we get to see.
Here comes Brooke Wells. She has 2 reps remaining. This is a great result for Brooke Wells. 9th place overall, looking to move up the overall standings, heading into day number 2. Brooke is done, and Brooke is going to take 2nd place in the heat and 2nd place in the event. Here comes Gabby McGowan for the final time to the barbell. Ariel Lowen is also getting set to head to the barbell for the final time. No problem for McGowan. And she is in.
Amazing consistency from Gabby today.
There's Emily Rolfe. Rolfe is now starting her set of 2 wall walk complexes. Ariel Lowen has 2 back squats remaining.
Looking like she could be the next athlete over the line.
Ariel Lowen is through. 4th place in heat, number 2 for her. 8:04.33 seconds for Ariel Lowen. Now Laura Horvath is closing out her set of 4.
Making her way back, but it
Damage control event for Laura Horvath as Amanda Barnhart and Emily Rolfe are on the barbell for the final time. Barnhart gets through her 2 reps. She'll come across the finish line. Emily Rolfe on her final back squat. And Emily Rolfe is in.
Yeah, this is the challenging part about Braveheart. There's 2 sides of this coin. Often that we see in CrossFit workouts like this, especially here at the Rogue Invitational, you're getting exposed in some way almost in every event.
Alex Gazan is in. Now Laura Horvath to close out her day of competition.
Good, bracket.
Wow, she'll take it, man.
Damage control now for Laura Horvath, but able to get inside that time cap with plenty of room to spare. Leaves Emma McQuaid and Danielle Brandon as the only 2 athletes out on the floor. And we've seen Danielle Brandon have trouble with heavy back squats in the past.
Yep.
A little bit of back issue that she's been dealing with for a while.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we talked about it. As it looked like she just lost that rep.
Yeah, she dumped the barbell behind her. Now Danielle Brandon's going to have to spend a lot of time getting that thing back up onto the rack as Emma McQuaid has closed out her set of 4. She has 4 total reps remaining, 2 on the wall, 2 on the barbell. Less than 2 minutes to go. So Danielle Brandon stripping that barbell down to try to get it back to the rack. And may not even be worth the effort at this point for her, but she's going to have to clean it and reload it.
Yep. And again, a struggle is a part of the journey. We all got our own little weakness. We all got something that we're trying to bring up. Everybody that pursues this well-rounded fitness, like we've got our goats. We've got our weakness in the form of this back squat, as we're seeing it for Danielle Brandon. And it's not easy to battle with, and especially when it gets exposed on competition floor, man, it's a hard pill to swallow. But it motivates you. It makes you want to go back hungrier, get better, strengthen your weakness.
Final 2 reps for Emma McQuaid at 260 pounds.
Final 2 back squats. 260 pounds.
Nice work. McQuaid across.
40 seconds remain before we hit the time cap. We'll see if Danielle Brandon's able to get in another rep.
Danielle Brandon up next. Good crowd getting behind her.
Come on, Danielle. She's got to brace firm and drive through the floor. Stay tight right there.
15 seconds.
Opting for singles, a lot like we saw Haley, and every rep counts here. I mean, look, we're seeing some of these scores for the women that don't finish. They're now going to be 3. So every rep for them really does count, especially when they're fighting and scrapping for points for top 5 positions.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise.
Danielle Brandon's going to hit the time cap. Tia Toomey's going to rack up another win. 3 for 3 on day 1. The first woman to ever sweep the opening day of events at the Rogue Invitational. She has now won 15 out of the 34 events in which she has competed here at the Rogue Invitational, and her winning percentage is now up to 44%.
I mean, it's phenomenal. It really is when you think about the odds and who she's competing against. This isn't a bunch of field of other amateurs. These athletes do this for a living, a lot of them. And they're out here, and Tia just continues to put on a show. 3 for 3. She did it in, of course, a very Tia-esque fashion, with the race not even being close, but it's her proficiency of movement, meaning that she just does everything to the highest level possible, finding the way to optimize her strengths, her own weaknesses, how to pace accordingly, and then it's like she's often racing her own self, and that's what she did right here in Braveheart.
And just looks like she just got done with a leisurely stroll through the neighborhood. 6 minutes, 14.89 seconds. Brooke Wells is able to sneak inside of Danny Spiegel's top time from Heat 1 for 2nd place. Gabby McGowan winds up in 4th, and Sydney Wells takes 5th place. Solid performance for her out of heat number 1. Let's send it down to Kiki Dixon.
Tia, congratulations. You are the first athlete in Rogue Invitational history to sweep an entire day. 3 events, 3 wins. What does that mean to you?
It's a great result. It means a lot.
This event had a lot of bracing on the wall walks, bracing on the handstand push-ups, at the back squats as well. Where did you find were the pockets to best breathe at?
At the top and bottom, taking a split second before racking the bar always helps. And yeah, I think, we trained for this, so felt good.
Congratulations. Gabby, you had a great showing today, day 1 of competition. You're gonna end really in some solid positioning. Looking back at the day, what are your overall thoughts for day 1?
Overall thoughts about day 1. I mean, I'm just extremely happy. Like, the energy here is amazing. That's what I'm talking about. You guys are amazing. Like, this is what I feed myself off. Like, you guys just cheering us on. Like, this is so special.
Looking to tomorrow, what are your expectations there for those events?
To be honest, I don't even know what we're gonna do tomorrow. Like, I was trying to really focus just about today and then today's event, but I'm looking forward to it. Like, it's gonna be amazing, I know it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And with that, day 1 of competition is in the books here at the 2024 Rogue Invitational. And on the women's side, I don't know how many more ways we can say it. It goes as expected. Tia Toomey continues to prove how great she is. Now with 15 career event wins here at the Rogue Invitational. And now you start to talk to yourself and think, is she going to sweep every single one?
I would not put it past her, right? I mean, she opened the day, and it was just a huge victory that we saw from event number 1. She got out. Everyone was running in quicksand, but she was not somehow. And then we came out, and even we saw in event 2 a little bit of a tighter race. It firmed up. The other women, Gabby Magawa specifically and Laura Horvath, were really chipping at her heels on that squat snatch bar, and yet she proves again that she can seize the moment when the pressure is highest. And then here it was like she was running her own race with more than a minute. Well, 59-second victory over second place Brooke Wells, and it was just amazing to see. Again, Tia doing Tia things, 3 for 3.
300 total points. She will have the overall lead heading into day number 2 with now 6 events remaining. Now on the men's side, things are a little bit closer, a little bit more in doubt as we head into day number 2. And Jeff Adler will put himself on top of the overall standings, but it is tight behind him.
That's right. I mean, Jeff Adler would say something probably like, I came to win, and so I did. And that's what he did on that final event of the day. But it was early on. Ricky Garrard, of course, taking 5 points from Jeff. And I say taking because it was like Jeff led the way that mass majority of the time, and Ricky closed the gap. But then throughout the day, Jeff's consistency is what allowed him to be the topic of discussion right now. It was his simple and easy and effective approach to those fast handstand walks and handstand push-ups on the wall that allowed him to create separation from the field. And there he was, making very easy work of that 375.
Jeff Adler and Tia Toomey, 2 games champions, on top of the overall standings. Still 6 events remain. And Saturday is going to be another very busy day here in Aberdeen, Scotland. Let's take a look at what is on tap for day number 2 of the competition here at P&J Live. Strongmen and strong women will be back in action. Hunting Haggis is going to open things up for the CrossFit athletes, followed by Power Drive. That's going to be fun to watch for the strongmen and the strong women. We'll also have the legends out on the competition floor tomorrow, and then we're going to close things out with the strongmen and strong women, their final event of the weekend, the Circus Medley. That is going to be a blast to watch, as those competitions have been extremely entertaining. A great day 1 here in Aberdeen, Scotland. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We will see you back here tomorrow. For Kiki Dixon, Adrian Conway, Kristen Rhodes, Lauren Chalet, I'm Sean Woodland. We will see you at P&J Live bright and early tomorrow for day number 2 of the 2024 Rogue Invitational.